Welcome to the Highlights from Ukraine podcast, your daily audio summary of the latest news reported in the Ukrainian media. My name is Artem, and here is the news. For 208 days, Ukraine defended itself against the Russian invasion. Yesterday at night, Russia fired missiles at the industrial zone of the Pivdенно-Ukrainska nuclear power plant, reports Interfax Ukraine. According to the state nuclear energy company Energoatom, a powerful explosion occurred just 300 meters from the nuclear power plant reactors. The building of the nuclear power plant was damaged by a shock wave. More than 100 windows were broken. One of the hydroelectric units of the hydroelectric power plant, which is the part of the Pivdенно-Ukrainska energy complex, was turned off. 3 high-voltage power lines were also turned off. At the same time, all 3 power units of the Pivdенно-Ukrainska nuclear power plant are operating normally. No casualties among the plant personnel are reported. President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky has called the shelling a danger for the whole world. In his evening video address, President Volodymyr Zelensky said that Ukraine has quickly stabilized the situation in the liberated areas of the Kharkiv region. According to him, Ukraine has got these lands in such a firm grip that the invaders are panicking tangibly. Zelensky reminded that Russian soldiers in Ukraine have only 2 options: flee or surrender. He stressed that the same goes for collaborators. Either they will try to escape, and it remains to be seen whether Russia will let them into its territory even despite giving them its passports, or the collaborators will be convicted according to the current legislation of Ukraine. The General Staff of Ukraine informs that the enemy continues to focus its efforts on the occupation of Donetsk region and defense of the captured territories, reports Union. Over the past day, Ukrainian units repelled enemy attacks in the areas of Mayorsk, Vesele, Kurdyumivka and Novomykhailivka Donetsk region. Ukrainian intelligence informs that a ban was introduced on the departure of men from the territory of the temporarily occupied Crimea without the permission of the military command. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said that Ukraine and Russia managed to reach an agreement on the exchange of 200 prisoners of war, reports Ukrainska Pravda. He also said that after the end of the war, all lands captured by Russia should be returned to Ukraine. Germany announced plans to supply Ukraine with 4 more Panzerhaubitze 2000 self-propelled howitzers with ammunition, reports Militarny. Thus, the number of these systems supplied to Ukraine jointly with the Netherlands will reach 22, 14 of which have been transferred by Germany. Germany and Slovenia also reached an agreement that the latter will transfer to Ukraine its modernized Soviet-made T-55 tanks. In return for 28 of such tanks, it will receive 40 German military transport vehicles. In an interview with CBS, Prosecutor General of Ukraine Andriy Kostin said that about 34,000 war crimes have already been recorded in Ukraine as a result of the Russian invasion, reports Interfax Ukraine. Kostin also said that the Prosecutor General's office has more than 40 ongoing investigations into cases of sexual violence committed by the occupiers. In an interview with LBUA, the Prosecutor General said that more than 7,000 children were abducted and sent to Russia, Belarus, and the uncontrolled territory of Ukraine. Over 5,000 of them have been identified. He also said that 55 children who were legally deported to the territory of the aggressor state have been returned to Ukraine, and 37 more children, together with their parents or caregivers, are currently on the territory of EU countries. The Ukrainian IT Army Initiative informed that it managed to hack the website of the Russian Wagner's private military company, reports Ukrinform. According to the Minister of Digital Transformation of Ukraine, Mikhailo Fedorov, hackers obtained all the personal data of the mercenaries. The notorious Wagner's private military company is acting as the Kremlin's unofficial army and engages in wars in Syria, Libya, Central African Republic and Ukraine. Recently, it has been focusing on contracting Russian prisoners to fight in Ukraine in exchange for a pardon. Earlier, the video appeared on the internet in which Evgeny Prigozhin, an oligarch close to President Putin who also organized the private military company, personally calls on Russian prisoners to fight in Ukraine. According to the results of an opinion poll conducted by the Kyiv International Institute of Sociology, 72% of Ukrainians consider residents of the territories occupied by Russia who remain there victims of circumstances and believe that they want the return of Ukraine's control, reports Liga. About 12% of respondents are critical of them and consider these people collaborators or indifferent to Ukraine. Only 14% of respondents believe that there are serious conflicts between the political and military leadership of Ukraine, while 71% of respondents believe that they act in harmony with the common goal of victory. Also, only 15% of Ukrainians believe that the West is tired of Ukraine and wants Ukraine to negotiate with Russia. At the same time, 73% of Ukrainians believe that the West continues to support Ukraine and expects the war to end on terms acceptable to it. We would really appreciate if you could support us on our Patreon. Even $5 a month will help us to continue our work and present to you the latest news from Ukraine. As a token of our gratitude for your support, you will get access to a series of exclusive episodes on wartime life in Ukraine. From this series, you will learn how ordinary Ukrainians live in times of invasion, what they eat, how they travel, celebrate, what music they listen to, and much more. To subscribe to our Patreon, follow the link in the description to this episode. Thank you. We call on you to demand from governments of your countries to impose the toughest sanctions possible on Russia and its citizens to stop their invasion of Ukraine.